yes, the crochet basket is a perfect place to get a belly rub. It's a perfect place to get a Nellie belly rub. Yes, it is. It's the perfect place. Ooh, you're going to tip over. Here. Let me make sure you don't tip over. There we go. Oh, belly, 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 belly. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, let's get our claws into things. Yes. I love you, my little green-eyed monster. You are so precious too, Mama. Yes, you are. I love you. I love you madly. Let go of that. Okay. I do. I love you. That's how you get away with so much. If you weren't so cute, you wouldn't get away with so much. No, you wouldn't. You get away with a lot because you're so pretty. Yeah, look how pretty you are. You have a goatee and everything.
Hello, friends. Today I would like to offer you a word of encouragement if you are feeling like you're in a rut that you'll never get out of, if you are feeling like you have a problem that will never be solved, if you're feeling like things are not what you want them to be and they're never going to be the way you want them to be, that you're never going to get unstuck. I'd like to offer you a few things to think about and things that I try to reflect on when I'm feeling that way. Now, that's not to say that I never get discouraged or that I always keep my head in the right place. I don't. This is something that we all struggle with. It's part of what it means to be human. It's part of what it means to be on this human journey. But I'd like you to reflect on a few things and think about times in the past when it seemed like you were in the bottom of a pit that you had fallen in and were never going to get out, but you did get out. And I would like to share some stories from my own life of times when I thought the world was coming to an end. But in hindsight, I bounced back just fine. I learned some important lessons, and life really did go on. One thing I often think back on is when I was in my 20s, I was engaged and I loved that man with my whole heart. We were 4 months away from the wedding and I called it off. And I had good reason to, which I don't want to go into here, but it had to do with things that he did that I found intolerable and couldn't go ahead with marrying him. But I remember shortly after we broke off the engagement, I couldn't imagine how life was going to go forward because I had imagined my future with this person, and there was no version of my future that didn't include him. And I remember some days I would feel like there was a cannonball sitting on my chest. I felt like I could hardly breathe. I felt like I don't know what life is going to be like today or tomorrow or a year from now. I couldn't foresee the future. I couldn't make good plans for my own future. I was just stuck, and I thought, my life is ruined. Things are never going to be the same. I'm never going to love somebody again. I've just been hurt too badly. But you know what? Here I am today. I survived to tell the tale. I did learn to love people again. And through that experience, I discovered that it's not about trusting other people. It's about learning to trust myself. So sometimes when people have had an experience like that, they say, oh, I'm never going to trust anybody again. But it's not about trusting others. At least for me, it's about learning to trust myself and learning to make better decisions, learning to see the red flags about a person, learning that very hard lesson and taking the wisdom forward with me. So I can still remember that feeling of not being able to breathe, that feeling like there was a cannonball sitting on my chest, and that feeling is long gone now. So that experience developed my resiliency or my ability to bounce back and move on, even when I thought I couldn't. Another experience would be in March of 2021, so almost 3 years ago now, my mom passed away. And losing your mother is a very profound experience. And Whatever you might believe about the afterlife, knowing that I'm not going to see her again in this life is tough. And there are times when I wish I could call her, or I wish I could share some news with her. And I know that she is not available to me on this earthly plane, at least for the time being. And you think, what is the world going to be like without her? What is my life going to be like without her? It is different. It is altered. There's so many times I think I wish I could pick up the phone and call her and tell her some news I got that day or some good thing that happened to me. And then I remember that she's not just a phone call away anymore. So it's taking some getting used to, but it's also made me feel strong, made me feel more like an adult, uh, and made me feel liberated is a strange word, but made me feel like I need to look after myself more than I have in the past, and that I can do that. I'm at an age and an experience level now where I can do that. And I can think of my mother in happy memories, but without a sense that I need her to take care of me. I need her in other ways, but the time when I needed her to, take care of me on a daily basis, I've learned to take care of myself in those ways. So I'm not going to say I bounce back or move on from that, but I have learned how to keep getting up every day and moving forward. I remember seeing a television show one time. This young man asked an older man, when they were talking about losing a loved one, the young man asked, "But you get over it, right?" And the older man said, "No, you never get over it, but you do get on with it." And I have found that that is very true for me. Looking back at careers too, jobs I've applied for, I can say with all honesty that working at Western Michigan University is the happiest I've ever been in my life. It's the best job I've ever had in the best place. I absolutely love my job and love my life right now. However, if you were to go back about 12, 15 years when I was looking for a faculty job, there were a few jobs that I came close to getting but wasn't the final one chosen, and I was devastated. There was one job in Chicago that was going to require me to like run a business center and make contacts in the community. And I really thought I wanted that job. I had really worked myself up into a state where I thought that was the answer, that was the only answer, that was the thing that was going to make me happy. And when they called me to tell me that they had chosen the other candidate, because there were two of us left in the running, um, I was professional on the phone, but as soon as I hung up the phone, I collapsed to the floor crying because I just thought that was just the end. That was the perfect job for me, I thought, and I was never going to find another job as good as that one. Well, lo and behold, there was something better in store for me, and I don't know what your personal faith journey or beliefs are like, and I won't impose mine on you. But many of us believe that things happen for a reason and that when something gets taken away, there's something better coming down the road. And I have found that to be true, not just a pipe dream or belief, but something to be true in my own life. When I didn't get something I wanted, like that marriage, um, it's often for the best in the long run. So reflecting on these things when I'm down, when I'm, in a hole and I don't know how I'm going to get out, it's helpful to think back on the times where I did bounce back from something that was very difficult and reflect on my own strength and that I have the strength and the wisdom to move forward, even when I don't know how to move forward. Even when getting up in the morning and putting one foot in front of the other is just so hard it seems impossible. I can look back and say I've done it before in other situations where it's been devastatingly hard and has seemed impossible. And I'm still standing. Here I am today. You know, I often tell people my dad is 99 years old, and my mom, when she passed away, was 92. So we often joke in our family that we're hard to kill, but I like to believe that about my spirit and my optimism too. It's hard to kill. And I do get down sometimes, but when I do, I'm down but not out. And I think the way you develop that is to give yourself credit for the times you have bounced back. Believe in your own resilience, believe in your own strength, and trust yourself. Even when you feel you can't trust some other people, trust yourself to be able to tap into the wisdom you've gained and whatever support system you have, and to come out all right. Maybe you won't come out on top or with flying colors, but you'll come out all right. And tomorrow will dawn with new possibilities. Take care and have a great week. Bye bye.